Hello, and welcome to today's conversation with one of our incredible speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. I'm so excited to introduce you to the wonderful Judi Moreo. Hi, Judi. How are you today?
Great, thank you. Hi, good to see you.
Where are you joining us from?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ooh, wonderful. I'm always excited to bring our speakers on stage and get to know a little bit more about their stories. And Judy, you have one phenomenal story spanning decades of experience and amazing adventures in your work as well as your personal life. So I'm excited for our audience to get to know you today. And for those of you who are joining this conversation live or watching this on replay, let me know where in the world you're watching this from. So today we're talking about You Are More Than Enough. And this is the title of a book that Judi Moreo has authored. So I want you to meet Judi as she is an international acclaimed speaker, personal growth trainer, a coach who stands as a beacon of inspiration in the realm of self improvement. Renowned for her profound experience, she has authored an impressive collection of 24 books, two of which have attained international bestseller status. The transformative volumes You Are More Than Enough and Ignite the Spark. And Judy, you are such a phenomenal speaker and have been so supportive on this platform of other speakers. You also have an incredible magazine and a TV show that I want to explore a little bit more. But Judy, tell me a little bit more about yourself and your amazing career.
Well, I've been very fortunate, Raimondo. As you know, um, I've spoken in 29 countries around the world, which is just amazing. I mean, I know speakers that have spoken in a lot more, but for me, that was amazing because I was a little kid that grew up in Genoa, Texas. It's a little bitty town outside of Houston, and it wasn't in the cards, for me to ever grow up and be an international speaker. So that's pretty exciting that it happened for me. And it happened as a result of I had a business, I had a finishing school and model agency, and I had to do something to bring people in. So I started speaking. I go to high schools and junior high schools and even elementary schools and talk to kids about good grooming and good manners and things like that. And then their parents would bring them into modeling school. So I started doing that for speaking. And then one day, the Tropicana Hotel here in Las Vegas called me and said, do you do programs for women? We have these conventions that come in and the women don't have anything to do. And I said, of course I can do that. So the next thing you know, I was out there doing programs for women. And I after I did 100 of those at the Tropicana Hotel, I thought, I might better go tell the other hotels what I can do. And it just boomed. And so I've been really fortunate that I've been able to do this all over the world. I ended up selling my business and becoming a full-time speaker.
Wow, amazing. And how did you become an author? I mean, writing more than 24 books, that's amazing.
Well, that's what I always wanted to do. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a journalist and a writer, and I studied for it. And then I worked for newspapers in all over the world. In fact, I was the group promotions manager for 22 newspapers, two radio stations, and a TV station in South Africa during the end of apartheid. So, I mean, I have a background in journalism and in writing, but then I and plus with the modeling school, then I just had this desire to share what we did there with women all over the world. So I went to a writers conference to find out, if I could write a book. And I got to the writers conference and I looked up the speakers that seemed like they could help me, and there was one speaker that I thought would be perfect because she owned a publishing company here in Las Vegas. In fact, it was owned by a big newspaper, but it was in cooperation with her, collaboration with her. And so I went to her speech, but she wasn't there. And she had sent this guy to talk in her place because she had broken a tooth that morning, and he didn't have a clue what he was talking about. He was brand new at the at the job and brand new at the event, and people were loud and rowdy while he was talking. And so being a speaker, I knew what he was going through. So I thought, well, I'll just sit here and hang on every word he says and really pay attention. And afterwards, I ran into him in the hallway, and he said, "I really want to thank you, for giving me so much attention during the program." He said it was really a disaster, and I'm like, "No, it wasn't that bad, And I was trying to really make him feel better about his presentation. And he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm here because I'm writing a book for women about how they can be their best and how they can believe in themselves." And he said, "Oh, I think my editor would really be interested in that." So he ended up telling his editor about it, and she called me and said, "Why don't you come in and talk to me?" And I went in, and she was late, and I was ticked off that she was late. And I was just getting ready to leave when she came barreling through the door and said, "Follow me." She was very flamboyant, "Follow me, come with me to my office." So I followed her into her office, and she said, "I looked at your proposal. I see what you want to do. I think we can do this." And so she's talking to me, and she hands me a contract, and she says, "Take this to your attorney and, look at it, and we'll do your book. And here's what we're going to do." And she starts telling me how they're going to build me a website, and they're going to put me on TV, and they're going to do these book tours. And she says, "And we're going to put your picture on the cover." And I'm like, "You can't put my picture on the cover. You only put celebrities on covers of books." And she goes, "By the time I get through with you, you will be a celebrity." And so it turned out to be a really wonderful association for many years, until she got cancer. And she called us, and she said, she called all her authors that she worked with, and she said, that she had cancer and that she was going to retire, and she wanted to give us all back the rights to our books. And
Wow.
she did that, which was very, very kind and wonderful of her. And I was able then to self-publish and continue with owning the book. And it was a pretty wonderful experience, having worked with her and with Stevens Press, and getting my book out there. And I'm still proud of it. It's been out there for a few years now, and people are still buying it, and people still call me and say, this lady called the other night. She was 84 years old. She said, "Oh, Judy, I just want to tell you," she said, "my husband died, and then my dog died." And she said, "I just keep your book on the nightstand by my bed. And at night when I feel all lonely, I just touch your book, and I know you're here with me." I mean, that makes me feel so good, that somebody's going, that book means that much to them,
Yeah.
It's,
So, Judy, your message, "You are more than enough," is actually quite profound because it's connected to your story and your true belief of building people up, building confidence in women, and it is quite personal. Would you tell me a little bit more why "You are more than enough" is the center stage of your message?
I didn't have self-esteem myself when I was growing up. I had four older sisters who were absolutely beautiful and were very accomplished and could do whatever they felt like they believed in. And my mother was an amazingly accomplished woman. And I just didn't ever feel like I was enough. And so as I went through life, I went to every finishing school there was, every modeling school there was. I read every personal development book I could get my hands on. And I never felt like the books really touched what I could do to believe in myself even more. And finally, when I started to have some confidence, and then I owned this finishing school modeling agency, I was teaching people how to walk and stand and have good manners, and how to look and how to do their makeup. And we were doing image consulting and fashion shows, and we started doing big shows, and we did shows in New York, and we brought New York models to Vegas. And um, I got very confident as my life was going on, and I realized the difference in how I felt compared to how I felt before. Before, I would feel like if I walked in a room, I just wasn't quite enough to be there. And then I got to where I thought, yeah, I'm more than enough to be here. I have a right to be here. I have a right to be a part of this. I have a lot to contribute. And then I thought, I wish other women could feel this way. And I really started working on helping women have more confidence. And even now, I teach art classes at the university here in Las Vegas. And even now, I will say sometimes to the students, I may not be the best art teacher in the world, but I am the best confidence teacher. So you just hang in here with me and you're going to be able to paint. And they can. I mean, my students turn out the most incredible artwork. In fact, when you see it hung next to other students or other art teachers, you can tell which ones are my students because they have that confidence. I can do this. I know I can
Mhm.
do it. I mean, even if they've never done it before. So that's where it all came from. I just want people to know what they have to do to believe in themselves.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry.
that's truly a profound statement there. I just want people to believe in themselves, and I believe that the difference between us being accomplished all of our dreams and those who perhaps question their existence in this world is really confidence, knowing that I'm worth something, right?
Yes, yes. And the thing is, you just have to have someone that believes in you, but also, there are little things that they can do to help them believe in themselves. And I highly encourage people to do affirmations where they make a positive statement to themselves every single
Yeah.
morning. I mean, even today, I've been speaking for 50 years. And even today, before I walk on stage to do a speech, I stand backstage and I say to myself, I'm powerful, I'm effective, I'm good at what I do. People like me, and I like people. And I have a message that someone in this room needs to hear today. I'm going to remember it at just the right time. I'm powerful. I'm effective. I'm good looking. I smell good. Yay, me.
Yeah.
And so I tell people, talk to yourself in a positive way, because most of us talk to ourselves in a negative way. When things don't go the way we think they should, we go, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb, I'm so ignorant, I wish I had done this, and we have to stop that
Yeah.
and start speaking very positive to ourselves. Another thing I do and I highly recommend people to do is I journal. I journal every day, and every day I put a gold star in that book by that what I did that day. And that's important to anchor your self-esteem in by giving yourself a reward. And whether that reward is a gold star or a new Mercedes, it doesn't matter. You've got to just keep giving yourself thank you for being who I am. And
Yeah.
I do believe in God, and I do pray every morning, and I do say that thank you for who I am, thank you for who I've become, thank you for helping me become a really good person, a person of quality and integrity. And that's important that we believe that about ourselves, and that we're thankful for that, we're grateful for it.
I think positive affirmations are so powerful, and whether we do that with our children or with ourselves. And today, I think in that spirit, I wore one of my favorite tops that says, "You are more courageous than you think."
I love
And to me, courage is so important to our level of success, our pursuit of our careers, pursuit of things that perhaps we didn't think it was possible. So I love this talk because, and it's similarly like you are more than enough. This just says you are more courageous than you think.
I love it. I love it. I actually have a new book that's going to be coming out. It's entitled "You Are More Than You Think You Are." So it's right in keeping with what you're saying about your shirt. You are more courageous than you think you are, and you are more of everything than you think you are. Because so many
Mm,
times when we were growing up, people told us, "Don't get too full of yourself. Don't have a big head. Don't talk about your accomplishments. Don't
yeah,
tell people what you did." And that sticks with us. It sticks with us. And the other thing I was told is, don't ask people questions. If they want you to know something, they'll tell you. And I had a hard time getting into television because my show is an interview show. I have to ask people questions. And it's hard for me to ask. I keep thinking, well, they'll tell me if they want me to know. But no, I have to pull it out of them, so because they're nervous, and I have to forget about me and can be concerned about them, and get them to tell us who they are and what their story is. And it's really a good challenge for me. I love it.
Yeah. Judy, it has been truly incredible to get to know you over the last few months as we're leading up to the summit. See you, collaborating with other speakers in this process. I'm curious, as someone as accomplished and successful as you have been in your career, and you've done it all, but what's next for Judy Moreo? What else is there for you to accomplish or on your bucket list?
That's fascinating that you say that because I finished my bucket list. I did the last thing that was on my bucket list about a year ago. I went on a hot air balloon safari over the Serengeti when the wildebeest were migrating. That was like on my bucket list, right? And so I said, well, now I've done my bucket list. What am I going to do now? I either got to conk off or make a new bucket list. And so I I do have a new bucket list. I have a couple more books I want to write. I have a couple more paintings I want to paint. I guess I'm going back into speaking. You know, I dropped out of speaking for about a year because I had to replace all the parts in my body. I have two new knees and a new hip, and I had a neck surgery, so I kind of dropped out for about a year. And I thought, well, I guess my speaking career's over, but they're calling me. You know, people still call me and say, would you come and talk to our group? Would you come and do a short program? We only need you for 45 minutes. They think that's a short program. So I said, yeah, I will. In fact, I'm doing one this week. So it's yeah, it's okay. And but what I think is cool about it is now that I've been speaking for all these years, for many years I spoke about what other people wanted me to speak about. I worked for seminar companies that gave me programs and said, do this or present this or sell this, which I did for many, many years. But now I want to speak about what I want to speak about. So I'm going to be speaking about you are more than enough, overcoming your perceived limitations, because I want women to realize, well, men too, I want people to realize that most of our limitations are perceived. We think them up. They're not real limitations. They're just what we believe about ourselves, or we don't want to believe, but that old thing about negative or positive. If you don't want to believe it, you're still going to believe it because you don't want to believe it. So we have to we have to believe what we want to believe about ourselves. And that's why I just believe that affirmations and prayer are so important. And I believe that reading the right books and being around the right people,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I got involved in Women Thrive, was I wanted to be around the right people. I live in
Mm,
Las Vegas, and we've got a lot of cool people here. I mean, there's nice people here, and there's smart people here. But I wanted to be around women from around the world. People who are sophisticated, who've been somewhere, who go somewhere, who have the same kind of thinking I have. That they just want to be the best they can be and help other people be the best they can be. And those are kind of people that we want to be around. We don't want to be
yeah.
around people who tell us what's wrong with us. Every time somebody comes up and says to me, would you like a little constructive criticism? I say, no, I don't really care for any criticism. Take it to somebody who would like it. I don't want it. Thank you.
Judy, you're amazing. Can I just say that's one, your sense of humor is incredible, and we have had many, many laughs along this journey. And it really takes getting to know you and your spirit much deeper, and your purpose and mission, which we have been lucky to have gotten to know you much, much more. Of course, in the next few weeks, you will be taking a stage at Women Thrive Summit.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more. What can we expect?
Now, I'm going to talk about overcoming your limitations, and it is going to talk about things like courage. We're going to talk about why we have limitations and why we believe we have limitations. We really don't have them, but we believe we do. And I'm going to give them like a 5-step plan for getting past it, to know that this is what I have to do to believe in myself. And I'm going to tell a few stories. You know me, I always tell a few stories about people and things I've witnessed. And um, I have some free ebooks that we're going to be giving out to the people, gifts.
Yeah.
And what else can I tell you about what I'm doing? I don't want to tell you what I'm doing because I'm going to do it. And I want you to be there when I do it. I don't want to do it now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to be such a treat to see you perform on stage because this is something that you have been doing, as said, for, 5 decades. And just incredible to watch you. We've seen you on showcases before. I was totally glued to your presentation at our showcase and in your storytelling. You have some incredible stories to share with our audience, which I'm going to, cherish having on our stage. Judy,
You know,
it's been amazing.
it's a challenge for me because, I'm used to walking on stage and standing there in front of a big group of people, and to do it online, to do it on camera. And I know the people are out there. I know they are, but the fact that I'm not standing up and, doing my thing, it makes me a bit nervous. And so I forget to some of the other speakers say to me, "Oh, you aren't nervous." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I forget to look at the timer. I forget to watch what's going on. There's chat over here and people are talking, and I'm like, "What are they saying? I gotta see what they're saying." And it's a whole new ballgame to do this online. It really
Yeah.
is. Even though
Yeah.
I do television, it's different. It's different. I don't have a chat going when I'm doing a television show. It's just me and that guest.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. I watched some of your show. What's the name of your show? People wanted to look it up on.
It's What's Your Story? And it's on WWDB TV, which is on Roku. And if you have smart television, you have Roku. But if you don't, you just buy a little thing at one of the stores for like 29 US dollars and attach it to your TV and you can get Roku. But
Yeah.
a lot of people have Roku already. I was really complimented yesterday. I was looking at a venue for an event, and the lady that was showing me through the venue, she's like, "Haven't I seen you on TV?" And I'm like, "Well, do you have Roku?" She goes, "Yes, I have Roku." And I said, "Did you see What's Your Story?" She said, "Yes, I knew I saw you." I said, "Well, why are you asking me? If you knew you saw me." She was so
Mhm.
fun. We had a good time. But it was fun for me to know that somebody says, "I saw you on TV," because a lot of people
Yeah.
don't have Roku, and so they don't all see you. But it does go all around the world, so it can be seen in other countries as well.
Amazing. Judy, I'm super excited about your talk. And as this summit is all about empowering women, I think your talk is just going to be so in line with our mission and what the summit is about. And if you're currently watching this and you may not know yet what the Women Thrive Summit is, this is our annual women empowerment event that happens every third week of March. So this year happening between 18th to the 22nd of March. And I invite you to save your spot today. We have some free tickets. We've got some options for you to upgrade your ticket for more access to various opportunities. So head over to womenthrivesummit.com and register for your spot. This 1 week live and virtual event is we are bringing together more than 50 amazing speakers from all walks of life, and we're talking about confidence, leadership, creating opportunities in your life, empowerment, business, visibility, authority building, and so much more. And I think there is something for everyone. And of course, you'll get to meet Judi and see her on stage. And that's the amazing thing about these virtual and live events. Not only you can join it from anywhere, but you can also build a lot of relationships, actually interact with our speakers, ask them questions. And I think there's going to be some beautiful relationships built for a long, long time. Judi, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your story on our stage.
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun, as always, when I'm with you.
Thank you. Judy has been amazing. And to all of you watching, if you watch this, please do make sure you share it with your audience because you never know who might be just in need of this message today. And we look forward to seeing you at the Women Thrive Summit this year. I think all of you should be there. Right, Judy?
I definitely feel they should all be here.
Oh, before we jump off, Judy, how can people connect with you?
They can connect with me and Judi at judimoreo.com or Facebook or Instagram or almost anywhere on social media. They just put my name in, they'll find me.
Amazing. And do make sure you grab the book. You're more than enough and look out for a new book coming out later this year. I think you're going to be blown away by incredible stories that Judy shares. So head over to judimoreo.com, find out a little bit more about the work that Judy does, grab copies of her book, and see your life transformed, literally. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you on another live. Take care.